Have you ever wondered why some people become extremely good at one thing, while others spend years trying different things but never truly master anything? I think a big part of the answer is focus. And honestly, this is something I learned the hard way myself. There was a period of time when I kept trying to do everything at once, especially during the years I was doing gig work. I started with DoorDash at the same time I was trying Uber Eats. Then I moved toward GrabHub. After that, Spark, then Amazon Flex, then Lyft, then Uber. And in my mind, I thought doing more apps meant making more progress. But after a while, I realized something strange was happening. I was busy all the time, but I was not improving at any one thing because every app had different systems, different strategies, different busy hours, different rules, different ways to succeed. And instead of becoming great at one thing, my attention became divided everywhere. Eventually, I understood that trying to chase too many directions at the same time can quietly destroy your focus. And once your focus disappears, progress becomes slower than you think. Later, I decided to simplify things more. And instead of trying to manage everything at once, I focused mainly on DoorDash for a period of time. I learned the system better. I improved my ratings. I understood the best hours. I became more experienced. And suddenly, the results became much better. Not because I was working harder, but because my focus became clearer. And honestly, this lesson applies to almost every part of life. A lot of people today are trying to do many things at once. Learn multiple skills, start different projects, build a business, grow on social media, learn languages, work different jobs, all at the same time. But the problem is this: the human mind does not perform well when attention is constantly scattered everywhere. Sometimes we confuse movement with progress. Just because you're busy does not mean you're moving forward properly. And I think many people today are mentally exhausted because their focus is constantly pulled in different directions. Even in sports, this idea exists. For example, in boxing, there are hundreds of techniques you can learn, different punches, different styles, different combinations, but usually the best fighters become known for a few things they master deeply. One boxer becomes famous for his jab, another one becomes famous because of his hook, another becomes famous because of his footwork, but nobody becomes elite at everything overnight. Real mastery comes from repetition and focused practice over time. That's why Bruce Lee once said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. And honestly, that quote explains focus perfectly. Because real growth usually comes from depth, not from constantly jumping between everything. The same thing applies to learning skills too. For example, imagine trying to learn four languages at the same time. Maybe in the beginning it sounds exciting, but eventually your brain becomes overloaded. You mix everything together. Your progress becomes slower. Now compare that to focusing deeply on one language first. Then, after building a strong foundation, moving to the next one. That approach usually creates much better long term results. And I think life works the same way. Focus is not about ignoring every opportunity forever. It's about understanding priorities. It's about knowing what deserves your full attention during a specific season of your life. Because if everything becomes important at the same time, then nothing truly receives your best energy. And maybe that's why a lot of people today feel busy all the time, but still feel stuck. Not because they lack potential, but because their attention is constantly divided. Sometimes the biggest upgrade in life is not adding more things. And sometimes it's finally choosing one direction and going deeper into it. If you stayed until this point, I hope this video made you pause for a moment and think about where your focus is really going. And maybe that question alone can change a lot more than people realize. So, if you enjoy this type of content about mindset, discipline, growth, and real life lessons, you're always welcome here. Make sure to subscribe if you want to keep growing with me step by step. And I'll see you in the next video.